joining us today is Soren Marquardsen. Soren has been working in multinational companies in senior management positions for over 2 decades. However, he's been working in South Asia for the last 17 years. Just 4 years ago, Soren's career took a drastic change. Soren has become a diplomat. Right now, Soren is working in New Delhi for Danish Embassy in charge for trade and commercial affairs. Soren, welcome to my show, Global Stories with Usha.
Thank you, Usha. I'm very happy to be here.
So Soren, tell me, after working for 17 years in senior management multinational corporates, why did you change your career path?
Well, I had gone through the traditional trajectory with a progressive growth, and suddenly I found myself as a senior director for one of the largest companies in the world, in charge of several countries, multiple offices, and at the same time I had a 5-year-old daughter. Which meant that I didn't really felt that I was available for her in the way that I wanted to be. So that is why I started looking for options which would both enable me to use my previous experiences, but also be there for my family in those crucial times when the children are growing up.
Well, makes sense. So tell me, all this corporate experience you have, how does it help you in your role today?
Well, I think actually as head of trade and commercial affairs at the Danish Embassy, I solely work with companies that are either already in India or are interested in India as a market. And up until recently, I was sitting in their shoes, and I have extensive knowledge from the region, which means I will be able to guide them and help them to grow their business, while at the same time using the tools that I have learned in the diplomatic trade to further their interest. So it gives me a little bit more background and credibility because I used to do that job.
So you've been helping the Danish companies who want to invest or increase the chances of investment into the country here right now in India. How do you see India investing in India? Is it easy for people to come in and invest in India from outside?
I must say that the last few years has become increasingly easier. It also is another thing is that India is now the fastest growing big economy. And in order for companies to grow and still develop their business, they need to be here because this is where the growth is going to come from in the future. At the same time, we also know that Europe, for instance, is aging. And we are going to increasingly be relying on outsourcing a lot of our work. And if you want to go anywhere and say you need 1,500 engineers, there's only one place to go, and that is India.
Wow, nice to hear. So Denmark is very big on sustainability. So how does your role here plays?
We can say that sustainability is actually the pivotal point. It's basically what we do. So back in 2020, Denmark and India launched a green strategic partnership. And it's not just the Prime Minister meet, lift their toes and say, let's be partners. This is actually 56 mutually agreed points between Indian authorities and Danish authorities that we want to work in bringing sustainable solution into India when it comes to renewable energy, when it comes to water and non-revenue water management, when it comes to health, maritime, where the Danish agencies and the Indian agency has decided that let's work together with this. And my job is, of course, that the need of India is to create employment. You have more than 1 million people coming into the workforce every month. You need to have investments, and in order to tackle climate change, you need new technology and technology transfer. And government do not have a lot of employment, they do not have a lot of technology, and they don't have a lot of investment. So that is where the companies come in. So we use this narrative to work with both our Indian and our Danish partner to further sustainable development and seeing ourselves as a partner for the sustainable growth of India.
Nice. So when talking about workforce, you said India can offer a lot of workforce. So, but you've been in this multi-corporates for a long time. What is the change you see between the workforce now and before, when you started your career?
I must see that our generation was very similar to the generation that I saw when I came to South Asia. It was basically a matter of you had to grow your career, you needed to make more money, you need to get a better title. It was all about status and ego. What I see in the young people coming into the workforce today is that they need to have a much higher degree of purpose in what they do, which means that organization, in order to sustain themselves and keep the employees, need to work increasingly on working on what is their value proposition. What are they doing to make the world a better place in order to keep the young people going? So you can say the motivation for the workforce today is different than 20 years ago, where it was all about give me a better title, give me more money, and so forth. There is, a much higher degree on what's in it for me and how does what I spend my life on make the world a better place.
So this is how you see the future to go about?
I see that as in pivotal things. We will also go into a massive automation in the future, where what separates us from automating and machines is basically being human. It's about adding value. It's about giving experiences. It's about sharing our knowledges. All the things that is very difficult to automate. That is what basically going to build tomorrow.
So you've been here now for a while in South Asia. I know culturally the Scandinavian and South Asian culture is very different. Do you think, are there any resemblances or differences? There are differences, but what about resemblances? Do they have any resemblances?
I think that there is a lot of people that are always trying to find differences between people. I must say that the more you get to know people, no matter where they are and what walk of life, they want to be there for their family, they want to support their family, they want to see their children grow up and be educated. That, I think, is a common theme throughout the cultures. We can say that in Denmark we have spent the last 50 years building up a social welfare state, which to a high degree has made people more autonomous, because we no longer have to take care of our aunts and uncle. And if we look at India and South Asia, we see still that the strong family structure is still in place. So in Denmark, the nuclear family is basically your parents and your siblings and your children. Whereas in India, even somebody that is a third cousin will still be seen as a relatively close relation, also because it's a big part of the social life of people living in South Asia. That's my impression. Whereas in Denmark, you to a higher degree have an extended network consisting of friends rather than family.
Right. You've been in India now for a while. So what is your favorite time of the year?
Well, I must say that if you take the favorite time of the year, depends on where you are in India. But obviously in Delhi, it is all the way from end of October till mid of March, because for Danes, seeing the sun and being outside is big luxury, and that you give ample things. If you talk about festivals, I feel a little bit for Diwali as I would feel back home in Denmark for Christmas, which is, the festival of lights, everybody being happy, giving each other gifts,
right,
eating amazing food.
Yes.
So, yes.
Any favorite dishes in India?
Well, it's difficult for me to say a favorite dish in India because it depends on where I am.
Oh, nice.
So if I'm up here in Delhi, I like the naans, I like the kebabs, I like the tandoori chicken. If I'm down in Kerala, I like the coconut milk induced curries. I like the hoppers. If I'm in coastal Andhra, I like the fish and the seafood cuisine. If I'm in Hyderabad, I like the biryani. So it all depends on where I am in India, because India is not just Indian food. It's a tapestry of different traditions and way of culinary development in each state.
Right. Well said. But thank you very much for coming on this show.
It was my pleasure. Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.